Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to learn how to play FantasyForm. And this was designed by Lucas Gentry and published by Button Shy Games. This is a solo game, and in this game you're going to be trying to defeat your rival before time runs out. Let's go ahead down to the table here, and I'm going to show you how to play FantasyForm. Alright, so this is FantasyForm. Alchemists study the secrets of transforming their bodies into powerful elemental forms capable of impossible feats. A rival alchemist, which is going to be this card right here, seeks to abuse this ability for their own gain. Push your skills to the limit and defeat them before they reach their full power. Now, FantasyForm is a solo-only game, so you're going to be playing against your bot here, and you're going to be trying to defeat that rival alchemist. All right, the goal is simple here. You need to defeat your rival before you get down to 0 points. Now, throughout the game, you're going to be gaining shards, you're going to be doing different things, you're going to be gaining new equipment, and you're going to be powering yourself up. All right, so let's go into setup here. For setup here, the game's pretty simple. You're going to look for 3 cards here with a star on there. You'll have an artifact, you'll have a basic form, and you'll have a companion. Now, the artifact here, is going to be placed on your basic form, and you'll always have a form. And this one shows that you're going to start with 5 health, so you place this on the 5. Then you're going to place your guide here, and you're going to place it on your wealth tracker. This is how much wealth you have throughout the game. Now, there's a couple different settings on here. If you start in the game the first time, you're going to set it on beginner, which is 10. However, if you want to do standard, it's going to be 8. If you want to do hard, it's going to be 6. And if you want to do expert, it's 4. So for your first game, you should probably place it on 10. Then you're going to shuffle up the rest of your cards here, except for this rival card. There's a star side and there's a side with numbers on it. You can put it on the side with a star face up here. Once you shuffle up these cards, you're going to place them out in a specific way. Now, these are multi-purpose cards, so they have a different front and different back. And you're going to put the first 3 with this side up, and these is going to be your encounter deck. So you put 3 of them out there. Next, you're going to set up your upgrade row. So you're going to place it so this side is going up and this side's going down, and you'll have 3 of them. Then you'll reverse it to put the rest out for your ethereal row. And that is it for setup. You're ready to get into the game here. All right, so let's go over how the game plays. Well, the game plays is going to go over in turns here, and each of these are going to go into phases. The first phase you're going to have is going to be the outline phase. You're going to do the first part of this card here on the farthest right. So like this one, this outlines a counter says, you may buy any number of essences for 1 shard less than listed in the market price. But that's not this market prices. You're just going to do, this is what happens. The next thing, you're going to go into the forge phase, which is going to be this middle part right here. And in this middle part, it says you may purchase an available shadow or life essence for half price, rounded up. So, wow, it's going to get pretty cheap here. And then, so I did the top part of this card, the middle part of this card, and then we're going to go into the market phase, and that's going to be the bottom part of this card here. And this is going to show you how much wealth each of these essences cost. So, if I'm going to try to get this one here, it's going to cost me 4 wealth. This one's 8, this one's 6, and this one's 1. And then I can keep in mind whatever happened with the outline phase and the forge phase when I purchase these things. All right, so in this phase, when I could purchase things, there's 2 places I can purchase from. I could purchase from the upgrade row here, and on the upgrade row, they're going to cost what they're listed here. So if I want to get this really cool looking form here, I'm going to have to pay 20 wealth to be able to get it. But I get a really cool abilities with this, and if I did that, I would come down here and I would replace this one with this. And I'm going to show you on the reset phase how that all works, but you purchase what you want. So I could purchase from this market row. I can get this one for free if I wanted. Or I could purchase some essence up top here. And these essence are all the same. So like here, the shadow essence says discard to shuffle the ethereal row into the discard pile. Then redeal the same number of cards back to the ethereal row. So it's pretty cool. This one here is going to be the Radiant Essence, as discard and add the bottom 2 cards of the discard pile to the Ethereal row. This one here is the Life Essence, discard and heal up to 3 points of damage. And then we also have, where's the 4th one here? Yep, here's the 4th one here. Martial Essence here, discard to reduce damage dealt by an encounter or rival activation to 0. Now, a lot of times when you're buying these essence, you're actually going to be buying to sell them. So I could purchase or sell, and you're going to be using this here. So like if you look here where this one cost 8, later on if this card makes it over here and nothing moves it out, it'll be worth 11. So I could buy a bunch at 8 and then sell them at 11. And that will help with my wealth. So that's a big part of this game here. After I've purchased everything I want, you have the rival or exploration phase. If there's 2 or more cards in the ethereal row, continue to the exploration phase. Otherwise, continue to the rival phase. Okay, since there's more than 2 up here, we're going to go into the exploration phase. And the exploration phase, we're going to discard the rightmost card from the upgrades row. So we'll discard it over here for right now. And move the remaining 2 over to the right. Then we're going to take the encounter card here, and we're going to flip it into the upgrade row like this. So we're going to move the other 2 over. Then flip the rightmost ethereal card down in place to the encounter row. So this one here is going to come down here, and it'll be the new encounter. We can move these over so you can see a little better here what the ethereal row is. After that, you're going to start another round. So we'll start over and we'll go to the Outlands encounter, then we'll go to the Forge encounter, and then we'll go to the market phases, and then we'll do another check, and we'll continue on until we have less than 2 cards up here in this ethereal row. If that happens, then we actually go to the rival phase. So we're going to discard all remaining cards from the ethereal row, upgrades, encounters, then do the following. The rival doesn't have an elemental form. So does the rival here have an elemental form? Find the first elemental form card from the discard pile starting from the top. So we're going to go, so what we're going to do here, we will discard all remaining ethereal upgrade encounter cards. So we'll go ahead and do that. They all get discarded here. And we'll give the rival the first ethereal card, or first form from the top of the deck here. Then we're going to flip the rival card over. All right, so when we flip this over, we're going to place it over here. It'll show the rival's health here, 7. And this is going to be part of our turn counter on here. So also you can see that this has the summary on the card here. So if you forget, you'll know that if your turn ends with 1 or 0 cards in the ethereal row, discard all the upgrades, ethereal cards, and encounter cards. Then search through a discard pile until you find the first elemental form and put it on under this card. Flip this card showing the 4 on top and position it to show your rival at full health with the rival power showing on the left. Now here we go here. So this will be at the 4. If your turn ends with 1 or 0 cards, the ethereal row, discard all the cards and you'll do a reset. And then you're going to turn this card to a 3. Then you'll turn this card to a 2 the next time. And then you'll turn this card to 1. So if you may spend 4 shards to deal 1 damage to your rival as many times as you can afford, which is going to be very important. If you bring them down to 0 health, you win. Otherwise, rotate this card down 1 number and reset for the next turn. If the card was already at 1, instead rotating, you lose the game. So it has a timer on here. Here's the health. And now that they have this form here, they have a special ability. You don't need to, so this is the purple one for them, and this is the green one for you. So for them, if the rival has it, they're going to take 2 damage, or 1 if your rival has 5 or fewer health. This one here, you don't need any special powers. You're huge. That's what this earth form does. Now, to clarify, I do call this wealth track, but this is actually how many shards you have. So this is 10 shards that you're going to have. So that's what we talk about when you spend 4 shards to do 1 damage. Okay, so normally we do a reset here. We're going to skip that. We're just going to explain the next part. So now if we came back through, we did a reset, we played the game again, and we are now at the rival phase again because we had 1 or less cards in the ethereal row. We then have a rival with a elemental form. We're going to activate its first power here. Then you have the opportunity to fight back. You could spend 4 shards here, so that your wealth here is going to be your shards. 4 shards to deal 1 point of damage to your rival. So you're going to want to build up your wealth here as the game goes by, so you have enough to damage them. But also you'll have to balance purchasing things and giving yourself stronger abilities. You may do this as many times as you can afford. If you take your rival down to 0 health, you have won. Either way, so if you've won, the game's over. But if you haven't won, you're going to reduce this timer down. So it'll go down, in this case, to a 3, marking where it was in health. And we're going to repeat. We'll go back to that reset phase I'll show you in a second. And we're going to keep going. Now, if this ever gets down to 1 again here, and we get to the rival, you have lost the game. So you do have a timer on here of how many turns you have before you get to knock out the rival. So let's scroll back here, and we're going to go to the reset phase. The reset phase is pretty simple. You're going to, I always like to go like this and put them all facing the right direction here. Well, right direction is relative, at least the same direction. And then we're going to place out 3 cards after we shuffle for the encounter row here. And then we're going to put out 3 cards, and they're going to be this way, facing up for the market row. And then we put the remaining cards with the essence side up, or with the forms upside down, for the essence row. And we're ready to do another round. Okay, so to wrap up the game sequence here, we're going to take our turns, and we're going to first resolve the top encounter, then the middle encounter, then we're going to go into the market phase, and then we can buy essences that are across the top here, or we can get new equipment here in the market row. And we'll continue doing this round after round until we only have 1 or less of these cards in the essence row, and then the rival will trigger. And we'll go through, and if it's the first time, we're going to gain a form for the rival and flip it over and place it at full health here. And as time goes by, if we hit this again, we're going to reduce this timer down. If the timer gets down to 1 before we knock out our rival, we have lost the game. But if we knock out our rival before that happens, we will win the game. Now, a couple interesting things here is the tags. Now, the tags in your basic, you don't really get any on here. This is just your carry amount. But later on, if you get a form here, which you will, you're going to have these little tags on here. And there are a lot of different tags. And these tags are going to give you bonuses or setbacks. Some of the encounters are going to require that you have certain tags, or bad things happen, or good things happen. So this one here states, if we had this one hit, it would state, gain 1 shard for every empty space you have in your pack, unless you have this icon. And if you have that icon, that's not going to happen. Or take 2 damage unless you have the fire icon. So that one's positive. So you're going to want to look at these tags. You're going to want to potentially get them to help you out throughout the game. Now, a couple other clarifications in here. So if you replace these cards out, you're going to take this card here and you'll put it in your discard pile. So if I get a new companion, I purchased this one. If it was down here, I would place it where my wealth is, and I'd have a new companion. And if I purchase a new form, it always starts at full health. So I couldn't purchase this one because it's way up here. But if it was in this row here and I purchased it, this one would go to my discard pile, and I would place this out. Now, again, the right side here is for you, and the left side here is for the rival. So if I have it, I get this ability right here. If I have this life icon here attacking them cost 1 less shard than normal. And if the rival has this, it's going to be take 2 damage. So left is the rival side, right is your side for that. Now, I couldn't purchase that because it's in the theater roll, but if it was down in the market roll, I could have purchased that. All right, so that is how you're going to play FantasyForm. Thank you for watching.